Welcome back to another video from English Einstein, the place to be for English revision. If you like the content, please show some appreciation by liking and subscribing. The question we're going to be looking at today is, how does Priestley present society as unfair in an inspector cause? This is marked out of 30, as you can see. A technique that Priestley likes to use is dramatic irony, which is when the audience knows something the characters do not know. This usually is used to make someone seem naive. Key quotes then: unsinkable, absolutely unsinkable. Mr. Burnley says this in the dining room to Gerald and Eric when he's particularly sounding individualistic and capitalistic at the start, and it also makes him seem naive. The repetition here of unsinkable highlights the confidence Mr. Burling has in the stability of Titanic and by proxy capitalism, because the Titanic represents capitalism, this quintessential symbol of capitalism. Priestley also uses dramatic irony here to reveal Mr. Burling as ignorant, hubristic, and foolish. Hubristic means proud and arrogant. It could represent Mr. Burling's naive confidence in his social status. He's very confident that his social status is preserved, and he's also very confident that the Titanic will be preserved. Symbolically, the Titanic could represent the Edwardian hierarchy, with the proletariats at the bottom of the boat or the hierarchy, then the bourgeoisie, then the aristocracy right at the top. And that was inevitably going to be destabilized. The bourgeoisie think it is stable, the hierarchy, but really its destruction is inevitable, just like the Titanic. Priestley suggests that capitalism will sink beneath the waves of socialism. Okay, so make sure you take a picture of those notes because you'll be using them in a little while. Next one then, Sheila says we must not build a wall. She thinks that her family should not separate from responsibility for either. The wall is a metaphor for division between the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. Priestley wants the younger generation, i.e. Sheila and Eric, to promote socialism. They're much more malleable than the older, more dogmatic generation. Sheila is breaking free from infantilization here by commanding her parents what they should do. And also, Sheila knows that the destruction of the hierarchy is inevitable. The inspector says we are all members of one body. The inspector, and by proxy J.B. Priestley, thinks we should all be part of one community. He thinks we should replace capitalism with socialism and individualism with collectivism. The inspector is used as an agent to promote social responsibility. The metaphor of body implies that, like organs in a body, society should work together, just as our kidneys, our intestines, our heart, our lungs, etc., they all work together in one system. Society should work together symbiotically too. The use of this Christian message connects socialism to Christianity to encourage support for socialism, because remember, it's a very Christocentric society in the Edwardian era. Great, here is a model introduction you can revise and regurgitate straight into your exam booklet. The examiner will love that. Then, after the introduction, you start off with a point like this. Priestley, who fought in World War I and despised the wealthy officer class, presents Mr. Burling and by proxy, and then what class does Mr. Burling represent in that gap there, as foolish when he says that the Titanic is, and then you put the quote in there. Then use the sentence starters and your notes to formulate a paragraph. Again, you make a point. For example, Sheila, a naive member of the, what class does she come from, changes from naive to socially responsible. We see this in the quote, we must not build a wall. Then use the sentence starters with your notes to form your paragraph. Finally, one more paragraph, and they have a successful exam in an inspector course. Remember to check the link below for limited offer tuition in English. Thanks so much for listening today. Bye, guys.